Ho, ho, holy sheet. Welcome back to Modern Comic Mondays, everybody. We got a doozy here for you today because we got to go to another convention. And boy, did this one actually knock my socks off. This was a convention I've never heard of before. But before we get into that, we've got a huge pile of books that I want to dip into real quick. We're going to welcome everybody to the chat. We're going to hit up these books real quick. Then we've got some special guests here tonight that I cannot wait to share with you guys. Because if you guys been watching the IG Reels, if you guys been watching the TikTok feed and some of the YouTube short stuff, you guys have seen that we picked up something pretty epic this weekend. So special, and it became quite the special occasion. I want to share that with you guys, and I get to share the artist with you guys tonight. If you guys haven't met this one, the links are all down below. We'll get into that just a little bit. But you want to talk about a convention worthy of digging deep for books. I'm talking stacks of books in $2 bins, overlooked excellent number ones from Image, like Excellence. Origin of 000 for Dr. Aphra 30 pulling out of a $2 bin. Yeah, you're darn right. Tons of great X-Men covers for $2, $3, $4. I mean, the Northwest Indiana Comic Con is what I'm talking about. I got so excited about getting into all these books, all these great grabs. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit here, but we're just cutting through this little segment real quick so we can cut this as micro content and share with everybody later how awesome all of these great books were. I mean, stacks and stacks and stacks, and some of the stories we get to share with you guys tonight, absolutely fantastic. Holy moly. And one of my favorite parts was all the Star Wars books. Let's hit up this chat really quick. That's the first chunk of books right there, because Downright Nerdy Podcast was first in the chat tonight. Mike, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Battle Delta, good to see you. Right back at you, sir. We appreciate you as well, man. Absolutely. Alex R., thanks for being here. Everybody hit that subscribe button, kick that notification bell, and tickle one of those reaction buttons while you're at it. If you're down there smacking all the buttons, do all of them, right? John's Comics with Kids, what's up, brother? If you guys aren't aware, John's Comics with Kids is running Comigories again. I will be on the guest spot for Comigories next Monday for the slab. I think he's calling it the Slabathon. No, the Slab Slalom. The Speed Slab Fest over there for the Comigories next Monday night at 9 p.m. is going to be a doozy. April, come on, mama. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Don Davis, House of L Comics. What's good, brother? Thanks for being here. Good to see you. Zuni, a little fist bump action for a Monday. Good to see you as well. Josh, I could have sworn 3 different times I saw you at NWI Comic Con this Sunday or this Saturday. I'm like, that's got to be him. I thought it ended up being your doppelganger, like your exact double. Who else we got here? Studio Oxblood. Good to see you. Elbow Cuff. What is up? Thanks for being here. Let's see if this chat keeps rolling. So Northwest Indiana Comic Con is one that Skeff introduced me to several months ago and said, let's make plans to be there. Let's make plans to go there. And like I said, I was so excited to go there and meet up with Skeff again. We got to meet up with Chip Gettler because we've got another story there. Seawater 19's in the house. Hey-oh, what is up? I'm just so excited and so over the moon here. I would dip right into the books because you guys know, with recent news going on with Star Wars series and with the Grand Inquisitor, that Soul run, right? That Soul 2017 Darth Vader run is on everybody's radar for issue 6, right? The first appearance. But everybody's forgetting about the rest of the issues that are littered with first appearances in here. And we pulled them all out of like a $2 bin, 50% off. And I'm not kidding you. Issue 1, key book. Issue 2, I can't go through all these individually. Issue 4, some of the best Darth Vader covers are in this Soul run. Issue 5, man. And then if issue 6 is hot, you know issue 7 is hot. The first cover appearance of 3 of the Inquisitors there, or maybe 2. Issue 8. I mean, this run is littered with first appearances and everybody's chasing issue 6. Don't forget about the rest of the series. It's peppered with nice little first appearances in there, and it just keeps going and going and going. We literally almost bought an entire short box of books in a span of just a couple of hours, and we were paying $2-3 a copy for each book. Tons of great wall books there as well. But man, we're going to get into the highlights here real quick. I wanted to keep this haul portion short because we got some excellent guests that don't want to keep waiting tonight. But when you're pulling Darth Vader #2 from the Gillen run 2014 out of a bin where it's tagged $4 and he says 50% off, this has got that Aphra preview, not a first appearance, but this has that Aphra preview page in there for $2. You're not going wrong right there, especially considering how much of an Afra fan we are here. Darth Vader, number 5, a couple of first appearances in there as well, $2. I mean, everybody's looking for those keys, but they're not looking to grab all of the other mini issues. Issue 6. Issue 7 is another issue I see people leaving behind that's got a first appearance of a bounty hunter in there. B-Box, I think it is. Issue 8, issue 14, I mean, the run just keeps going and going and going. We've got, not only did we grab that Soul run, but we've got a big chunk of the Gillen run for $2 an issue, plus a bunch of, if I can find them, John Tyler Christopher variants, those action figure variants, 000. If Afra's going to show up, 000 is going to show up on screen somewhere. So to have the action figure variants for $2 a piece is a great steal. Who's here in the chat now just showing up before we go over the last couple of highlight books? Farther west, I believe. Yes, there you go. Crown Point, Indiana. Come on, Mama is right. It was Crown Point, Indiana. Skeff and I both had several hours to drive. It was well worth it, though, and we will tell you more why in just a little bit. I'm back like a vertebrae. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. What's up, Battle? Farther west, I believe that issue 7 cover is gold. Solo, you talking about the Gillen run? I blew through those books so fast. So much Darth Vader in one day. I couldn't believe it. It was absolutely nuts. And you guys know how much of a Star Wars collectors we are here. Studio Oxblood says, so sick. We're going to keep up with the live chat at the same time. We are action-packed and full of energy tonight. You guys know how we roll on a Monday, because Mondays, you guys know how Mondays go for the rest of us, right? Mondays just aren't playing any nice tricks for us. They're just double whamming us from face to foot. Let me get back to that chat. It is going to be nuts. Oliver, what is up? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Solo Wookie says, happy VD Battle 66. Wait, make sure you spell out Valentine's Day. And yes, please elaborate. Dang, that was my back door and I didn't know about it. How's Don, man? Don, so Northwest Indiana Comic Con is going to be a yearly con, and it's going to be one that you're not going to want to miss too. Actually, Don, we're going to get you connected with Chip and with the owners of that convention. I'm sure they would love to have you as a dealer there, and I know you do good things for them too. I used to live up near Crown Point and go to that con. Definitely a solid, smaller con. Seawood is right on the money, and we're going to talk ourselves right out of the show tonight. Holy moly. Battle 66 says, come on, Solo. Great to see you, folks. Yes. All right. We are almost 8 minutes in already. We're going to hit up the highlights, the big books, the bigger books, the bigger finds. Like, we didn't go out and buy major wall banger books like Major Keys. We weren't there to spend every last penny we had. We were there to find some of the best deals that we could find, that we were looking for our collection. Chang McBurger, Christian, what is up? Good evening. Good to see you. Thanks for the fun day at work today. Hope to see you again tomorrow as well. But the highlight books, I need some water. Highlight books, and I was stunned to find Miles Morales Spider-Man number 6, first appearance of the Starling. And well, let me say this: I wasn't stunned to find it, but this is a book that's getting a little harder to find. You usually got to find it on the walls, but when you find it in a bin. Oh, there it is. When you find it in a bin for $5, you're not leaving that one behind. Definitely not leaving that one behind. And I'm all over the place. But right next to that, in that same bin, 363, third appearance of Carnage, if I remember correctly, for $5. I'm not going to leave that behind either. All of these books were super, super minty. Spider-Man number 1, that silver variant. It's not often that I see this in a bin, and even fewer and farther between than I find it in a bin for like $5. So I'm not leaving that one behind either. Then when you're doing the old 1-2 bundle rue and buying big stack of books, definitely grabbing another local comic shop day foil number 1, Something is Killing the Children. I absolutely love this series. You guys know I absolutely love foil. And when you're doing the bundles, you're not really paying full sticker price. So you're getting a little bit better of a deal. And I've already got a stack of those going to CDC. And then we're going too fast. Got a tickle in the throat already tonight. Because like I said, I didn't want to keep the guests waiting and didn't want to keep you guys waiting to meet these fine people from this convention. But it's pretty few and far between that I find the John Tyler Christopher action figure variant for for Dr. Afra. I almost said Dr. Vader. It is Monday. Mondaying so hard. But I seen this on the wall, took a quick look, And this thing is crispy near mint. And we even got it at a better deal than the sticker price. This one's definitely hitting the next CGC submission for the Dr. Aphra collection. I don't see these often. And somehow just in the last month, I've been able to grab 2 of them. Just think about how that action figure variant took off for Black Croissant. Black Croissant. It's going to be a breakfast thing for me. When Black K hit the screen on Disney Plus, the action figure variant was like the first or the second book to really take off from like a $10, $15, $20 book to $100 plus. I don't want to miss out on this book for Dr. Aphra. This is issue number 25 from Darth Vader from that Gillen run, if I remember correctly. And it's one of those things where how many people were ordering copies of this issue when Darth Vader was running? So for this issue to actually have high numbers, I don't know. I got to dig and find out. But this is one of those ones that I don't want to become a ghost book for the Dr. Aphra collection when, I mean, let's face it, they would be crazy not to put Dr. Aphra on screen at some point somewhere down the line. So rather pick that up now. Excuse me. Sneezing and coughing before that issue gets to become unobtainium. But speaking of issues that I don't see very often and are not quite few and far between, but everybody's focusing on a lot of the bigger keys when it comes to Aphra, when it comes to Grand Inquisitors and a lot of the other characters for Star Wars and with the new show coming in. But you know, I was surprised to see this sitting on the shelf. I believe this is the 1-in-25 ratio variant for Darth Vader 4 from the Gillen run, and Darth Vader 4, this is the second appearance of Aphra. So to find that on a shelf for a sticker price that we were able to negotiate down to $40 and walk away with this, I don't know if 40 is the going rate online anywhere, and I don't know if I was paying a con premium. Sometimes that happens. Either way, it's a book I don't see often enough, and for the Aphra collection, it's a book I can't leave behind. So those are the highlights. That's the books, and it took 12 minutes, and you guys know I sped my way through that and fumbled my way through that because Monday is going to Monday so hard. So I don't want to wait any longer to intro these guests. But let's see who is still in the chat here. Oh, no. The CEO of the Comic Dojo, Sarah, here. And Sarah, I should get her on as a special guest as well as the recipient for one of the other things that we found at the convention. Hun, yeah, thanks for your 2 cents. God bless America. She said, Captain Comics, what's up, ahoy, mates and mermaids? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for being here. Geek Out with Roscoe, good to see you as well. Come on, Mama is still here. Aphra. Direct quote, John Brady. Aphra. Solo Wookie, Daywalker. A lot of the other Star Wars fans in the YouTube and IG community are right there with me. I am bulking up my Aphra collection with all of the non-major keys. That's one of the goals that I have for 2022 because I don't want those books to just not be found anymore. Because it's interesting. The trends we're seeing at conventions are something that we're going to talk a little bit about more later tonight, about what we did see, but also about what we didn't see, which is really interesting. Dr. Aphra will show up in The Mandalorian. I'd bet on it. There are a few different... I don't want to spend a whole lot of time speculating on this. We could do a whole nother... Actually, we should do a whole Monday show just on Dr. Aphra at some point. But yeah, where are we at? That catches us up with the chat real quick. Jan Brady? Oh, Jan Brady. I get it. Ahoy, Roscoe. Yes, thanks for being here. So let me introduce our first guest. Somebody that I got to meet at C2E2, but did not get to spend enough time with. And even this weekend, I didn't get to spend as much time as I had hoped for, but definitely got to spend some great quality time with him. Chip Gettler, what is up, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for being here, man.
Going on, Eddie. How are you doing, sir?
Doing very well. Doing better now that you are here. And I want to say again, thank you for I think you let Skeff know about this, or Skeff found it and then hit you up, and then I think you guys said, Andy, you should be coming this way.
Yeah, I actually was in a chat session. I forgot with Skeff, and he was talking about how he was going to go. People were asking, "Oh, where are you going to? What next? What Comic-Con are you going to next?" And he mentioned NWI, and I'm like, "Wait, dude, you are?" So then I quickly sent him a message like, "Dude, man, let me know. I got you. Don't worry about it. Come on in." So yeah, so it worked out pretty good.
Dude, that was really cool. Walking up with our stuff. I was there like 45 minutes early, and I messaged him, and I'm like, he's probably really busy. Then Skeff got there 10 minutes later, and we were just walking around towards the front, and all of a sudden we see you at the door. We're like, hey, there he is. All right.
Yep. So yeah, I was glad you guys are able to come in, and Yeah, and it was very cool that you actually bought a ticket. You didn't have to, but thank you very much.
That's something that I'm working to continue doing for the future as
And
relationships build and grow. If
mhm.
passes or things are extended from the convention for the purposes of social media or press passes, if you will, I
Yeah,
still go and buy the tickets to help support the conventions no matter what. Because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we're talking 10, 15, $20,
Yeah, it was
$30 here
it's
for
like
a day pass. Like,
12 bucks, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Yeah, yeah,
yep,
yeah.
I would I'm always happy to buy tickets to conventions, even if they're sending press passes or anything like that, because it's just supportive of the convention.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Nobody's
definitely.
nobody's really looking for a free ride, but we're definitely looking for that early entry to record content and network and build and
Yep,
grow the community.
exactly. Very much so. Yep, definitely, definitely. Yeah, it's a great time.
So before we introduce our next guest, I'd like to spend a couple of minutes talking with you about NWI
Ooh.
and your role, and if you could dip into the history a little bit about where it started in 2014.
Gosh. Well, so I ended up coming into it because I happened to hire a graphic designer for the company I work for. What's going on, Digger Jim? The company I work for actually hired Geek. What's up, Roscoe? Um, Ended up hiring out the graphic designer that we hired in. Actually started working probably about 6 years ago for us. And in that time, he was telling me how he actually runs a comic convention. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, have you ever been to one? I'm like, no. So he's like, well, why don't you come? If you want, you can come volunteer and work for it. I'm like, sure, why not? Whatever. So I ended up meeting up with them down there, and met his wife and the rest of the family, and just kind of hung. And now it's become like a staple every year. We're always out there volunteering, typically setting up the day before, stuffing goodie bags, doing all the things that they give away to the first 1,000 people that come into the door. They'll give a goodie bag away with a whole bunch of comics. I mean, it was probably a stack about that thick of comics that they
Yeah.
just gave away, and and yeah, it's so we just have a good time, man. Just they've been doing it for since 2014. It's usually around the February time frame. They try to do it after C2E2 or enough away from C2E2. So that way people don't come in thinking, well, I'm not going to spend money because I don't want to go. I want to save from C2E2, or I'm so broke from C2E2 I can't spend money. So they kind of break it out enough that so it worked out pretty good this year. So yeah, good
Well,
times.
that's the trick a little bit, kind of fitting
Yeah,
into that convention schedule that was completely
yeah.
mishmashed last year. This year, we're kind of returning back to normal for a convention, and
Hmm.
I got to be honest with you, this convention, I bought more and spent less and found some of the best deals
Yeah,
at this
good.
convention than I have at any other regular convention. And
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can
It's
go
a
back into it a little bit later. This kind of dichotomy,
mhm.
not that kind of duality. There was a little bit of, there wasn't middle ground. I was either finding dealers that were just mind blowing
Yeah,
deals, or
yeah.
had dealers that just kind of were hanging out and less interested in selling, and
Yeah,
prices were high.
yeah. I know that you definitely find that at this comic convention, and it's that way every year. It seems like there's always the small pocket of guys that are looking to move merchandise, and then a small pocket of guys that are there to maybe hopefully get someone who doesn't really know the market, but yet is kind of like they're just to kind of like, oh, I want to get something, a memorabilia or something from it, and they're just there to socialize. It's all that's they kind of make it a social event, especially because it's only one day. They don't have to invest a lot in it. Tables don't cost a lot. And, they actually come in and take. And a lot of them know each other. So that's what's interesting about it. There's a lot of them that's from the community area in that Northwest Indiana and Chicago area. So yeah.
Well, you can definitely tell that there's a bit of history built up there and
Oh
camaraderie with
yeah.
a lot of the dealers and people, which was great.
Yeah.
I got to meet Sean from Comics Elite as well.
Oh yeah. Sean's awesome. Yeah, Sean, he's a very cool guy. Very cool. Yeah. I always enjoy meeting him and talking with him, and then I mess with him online as well. Just give him shit. He's always a good one.
He told me to stop back and grab a card of his. By the time
Cool.
Skeff and I got done digging and picking up books, he had already left.
Mm,
So I've got to hit him up on social media at some point to
yeah.
talk with him a little bit more. He had lots of good things to say about the convention and
Oh yeah,
what Comics
yeah.
Elite has going on in the future. And
Yeah.
it's a ton of fun. And speaking of the camaraderie and the real family atmosphere that NWI has there,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
That's
low.
one of the things that they
Go ahead.
definitely go for. That's one of the things that they geared for. So because the owner, the guy who runs the comic convention, married and had younger kids when he started in 2014. You know, a boy and a girl. I mean, he didn't want to make this where it was like you're going into it and you're seeing, you know, scantily clad women and all that. I mean, it was strictly, you know. Yeah, there's been times where I've been working the door and I'd be like, hey, you gotta go. I can't have you dressed like that, walking in the door like that. Go put something on. You know, here's the bathroom. Go here, take a shirt, whatever, because yeah, it isn't gonna cut that way, you know. But yeah, they definitely very family friendly. They have the kids do a Comic-Con parade, so they, you know, have their you know, their outfit, you know, their cosplay outfits on. They're walking around doing their little parade throughout the convention, and then, you know, they have the kids on, you know, people on stage, and yeah, they just have a great time with it. So very friendly.
That was a lot of fun. And I know next year when I go, I'm going to be working to create an actual on paper schedule of areas to record and get
Oh
footage.
yeah,
I kind of
yeah,
went in there and was taken aback about how formatted and how well structured it was. I got scattered really fast, and I'm like, okay, it's time to dig for books. Dig, 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 dig. Okay, time to record for footage. And it was already lunchtime at that point. I'm like, oh, I
yeah,
need something to eat too. And then next thing I know, I'm like, well, wait, this booth that I didn't get to see earlier because it was packed is open now. I got to dig there real quick.
yeah.
So I was able to record enough footage to put together some IG reels and put
Good.
those up. And I kind of feel bad that I wasn't able to do a full 20-minute edited video on YouTube, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm definitely going to be going back to do that again. I like the formatting
Mhm.
where the building is actually a cross.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah.
plus, it's like more like a plus symbol.
It
So
is. It is. Yeah.
you have your entrance area. And actually, I'm gonna finish this comment at the entrance area to segue into our next guest
Yes. Oh yeah.
because of
Yeah.
that
I know
prime
what you're going.
location.
Yeah,
But
I know where you're
Skeff and I
going.
walked in over by the cosplay area and got to see the kids cosplay event going on, which was absolutely adorable. And more importantly, we walked right by that pulled pork mac and cheese vendor.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yes. Yes.
That
They do
I
a
could have
great
gone
job.
doubles on that mac and cheese, but that's another thing that really quick before I get too far into this, I wanted to touch bases. The food options were absolutely phenomenal. So please extend
Mhm.
my thanks to the family for getting that set up because
Oh yeah.
there were legit affordable, fantastic food options, not just cheap con food or cheap walk up hot dogs or a quick
Yeah.
flip
Yeah.
burger that's been
Yeah.
sitting under a warmer. This was like
Oh yeah.
homemade mac and cheese with pulled pork and
Yeah. Yeah.
I could have stayed and had dinner too before going. So that section was a whole cosplay stage, a whole seating area for the cosplay convention portion. The food options behind there were great, and then it kind of segued into some comic book vendors and some artists. Then the north side of that building was all artist alley, which was fantastic, and there were some
Yeah.
really good names there. There were some really good
Yeah.
names. The south side was all comic books. The center was all comic books. But before I get too long winded, the entrance side
Mhm.
going in was very well played, very well handled. And the
Yeah.
first booth that you should be laying eyes on when you walk on there was a booth called SewQuiltable.
Oh, beautiful. Yep.
And because you, Skeff, and I were on the other side coming in and working on recording footage and checking some things out, I didn't actually get to that side of it before it was like halfway over for the convention. And I'm
Yeah.
glad we got there when we did. I'll tell you why. We found, and I'm not going to wait. I'm going to show this off, and then I'm going to introduce this fantastic guest because this is still giving me goosebumps talking about this. So
Mhm.
SewQuiltable is a family team that custom makes quilts,
Yeah.
and they teamed up with an artist, and they were producing these quilts with some fantastic art in the beginning. So if you in the beginning, in the middle, so if you've seen some of the IG reels that I've been dropping, you guys have seen this quilt that we picked up, but I'm not going to be able to do this justice live on camera here. But
Wait,
this
your
is
wife's actually letting you touch it?
oh yeah. So this is an Ahsoka Tano quilt, and I don't want it to get nasty or fall or get dirty, but this is a custom piece done by Beth of Chalk Art, the Chalk Art Girl, or the Chalk Girl, if I remember correctly. We have her contact information down below. We're going to be
Yeah.
pulling up her Instagram in just a minute, and I'll do that before we introduce her. But this is a custom piece. This is a one of a kind piece that, as you, Skeff, and I were walking through the convention, we kind of rounded the corner where the entrance was. We saw it, and we were stopped dead in our tracks.
Mhm.
There was a
Mhm.
Grogu piece in front of it, And then there was the Ahsoka piece right behind it. And Skeff looks directly at me. He's like, you need to buy this. And I'm like, don't say any more because I know just the person that this needs to go to. And I kind of felt bad because I asked what the price was and I froze, not because of what the price was, but because of, okay, how am I going to get this to her? How am I going to hide this? And they wanted to take pictures. And I'm like, please don't post this on social media yet, just in case she sees it. I'm like, I need about a 2.5 hour window to drive all the way home for her to see this. And it was a combination birthday present / Valentine's Day present, all in the one same weekend. And I am actually going to go ahead and play the audio won't come up, but I'm going to play the video of us presenting that to her, actually, that we shared on IG Reels real quick. She was absolutely stunned. And I'm not quite the editor and director I want to be, but we did a couple of clips to try to build it up a little bit. Because obviously the focal point right there. This is an absolute stunning piece. And at the top is folded down. It's a massive, massive quilt. And there's their contact information, SewQuiltable, Tori Artman, and SewQuiltable@gmail.com. They're also on Facebook. Their contact information is down below here on the show. So do not hesitate to click on that. Custom quilts. Yeah. They have a lot of stock and inventory that they carry show to show. But we rounded that corner, saw that, and I'm like, yes, we need to make this happen. And I froze. And I'm like, this is like a once-in-a-lifetime kind of art piece that I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, how are we going to keep the dogs from ruining it? How are we going to keep... I think she's going to hang it as an art piece in her quilt, her crafting room. She does cross stitching. She does so many things with yarn. So many things with yarn that kind of escape me. She has her own crocheting. She's crocheting, cross stitching. She does get into sewing, and she is going to be hanging that in her craft room as an art piece. And actually right here real quick, let me open this up from the private chat, see if I can share this real quick. Oh my, yeah. Before I don't want to hesitate too much longer on introducing you, Beth, because she is waiting backstage, but we're going to show this piece and then we're going to introduce her right after I finished. That Grogu piece sold immediately as we were buying the Ahsoka piece. Bam, bam. And then it started going. I'm like, this was the time and the place. It had to walk out and I had to get it locked up in the truck. What we're going to do is we're going to show real quick a live drawing from the ChalkGirl here. And I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to keep the audio muted just in case, because if we're live, sometimes they'll shut down live streams for audio licensing rights, things of that nature. Yeah. But let's get into this real quick because this is absolutely stunning. It is starting right now. Here you go. Just absolutely fantastic. The stunning amount of chalk, and I implore everybody to go check her out on Instagram. Her link is down below. We are going to show the Instagram page here in just a little bit. The process is what I enjoy watching on her videos here. Because to be fair, I discovered her this week, and I've been sitting watching the videos and checking out her Instagram and her social medias.
Insane. Wow. Just insane. Oh, to be that talented, huh?
Wow. I mean, this is the sheer amount of detail and shading that she's able to accomplish with chalk. And most people think chalk is a children's product, and it's definitely not. It's a medium not appreciated enough, in my opinion. And it's just stunning work.
Yeah.
Oh, this is an hour-long video, so we're just showing the highlights. I thought it was 1:09. It's an hour and 9 minutes. That is absolutely stunning. Okay, you can't stop me. I mean, Grogu.
Yeah, no, you can't stop on Grogu. Yeah, no, not at all.
We're already a half an hour, and I don't want to keep Beth waiting too much longer. So, basically, to round out that story, it had to happen. We had to pack it up, take it home. and she was in tears. I cut that from the video. Sarah, my wife, is absolutely in love with that. She's gonna get one of those bars that we saw with SewQuiltable, those wood vice clamp bars, and she's probably gonna hang it in her studio as an art piece. And I think that's the best way to honor that, so that we can get a chance to look at it on a regular basis without it getting. We got 3 dachshunds; they tend to chew up blankets, and I don't want that to happen to this one. So, real quick, we are going to quick cover. Like I said, Beth, my apologies. There's so much to cover here. TheChalkGirl on Instagram. Please go follow her and check out her content. As you can see, there is quite a bit here to take in, but the one that you definitely want to see is that piece there. The Ahsoka Tano chalk piece is phenomenal. Absolutely stunning. I can't stop watching this one and sharing this out with friends. It is, I don't have any words for this. My wife is an absolutely massive Ahsoka Tano fan, to the point where we've collected all the major keys. She's interested in cosplaying as Ahsoka in the future at conventions. She's been looking into that and creating her own cosplay costume at home here with her sewing machine and everything else. And wow, absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely stunning. From one of our favorite scenes in The Mandalorian was that reveal of Ahsoka Tano in the demolished woods. But yes, without any further ado, Beth, welcome to Modern Comic Mondays. There's so much content of yours that we would love to continue going on about and showing everybody watching and everybody catching on the replay, that I just have to kind of cut it there and get you on so we can talk about this.
That's totally fine. And I'm sorry I sent you the wrong link. I was panicking really quick and it was the first one I saw, but I have all those time lapses before I do my live drawings. So that was one of the recordings of a live drawing, but we got there anyways.
Oh, absolutely. So welcome, like I said, welcome to Modern Comic Mondays. I just got to say that was kind of a life-changing piece to run into. And that was, do you keep the originals to those? How did that work with SewQuiltable? How did you meet up with them, and how did that quilt come to be?
Yes. So to answer all those questions, I do keep the originals. I did meet up with SewQuiltable. Actually, it's a little bit of a long story, but to make it short, they met me at a convention. I think it was 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And they had not started their business yet. And you met Jason, who's the dad of that family group. And his best friend also started a vendor business at the same time. So I met both of them at a convention, and both of them were really leery to start out. And I just kind of, we talked. Jason's friend is an art teacher. So the initial kind of discussion was like, hey, would you come talk to my students kind of thing? And I was like, absolutely. But it was just a little bit of a talk about like taking the leap and getting into the convention business and having the confidence to do something like that. And that's kind of how it got started.
That's phenomenal, because this is I see this being quite the regular thing, and I'm surprised that this hasn't been a regular thing at comic book conventions for some time now.
Yeah. I've been in the convention circuit since 2016, and I've only SewQuiltable is the first other vendor that I've partnered up with in such a large fashion. So they have, as long as they want it, they have access to all of the drawings that I create. And should somebody want, a specialty something, and as long as I have a photo of it, they are welcome to use it, kind of thing. Their stuff blows me away. Like every single time they post a new photo of something, it's oh my God, it's so cool. I don't understand quilting. So like, that's just amazing to me, and vice versa. They've told me they don't understand the drawing process. So it kind of works.
So that's probably the most important key piece of information here. Everybody watching live and watching on the replay should take in. Hint, hint. If you travel to Beth's Instagram and you find a picture you fall in love with, you therefore can contact SewQuiltable and then have that done up as a quilt. That means you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for it to be made. You don't have to wait for it to run into it at a convention. You can potentially order that tonight. You can start that process tonight. And I wouldn't wait. I honestly wouldn't wait, because I feel like SewQuiltable is only going to get busier in the future with the quality of work that they put out, and the content that is on is being carried with those quilts is absolutely phenomenal, because we know most of us that grew up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, that's a very large portion of nerd culture that was suppressed for so long that is no longer suppressed and hasn't been suppressed for the last decade. We're coming out in full force, which means quilts, which means rugs, Ruggables doing a whole Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
I mean, pot and pan holders. I mean, you can do an entire kitchen, you can do an entire house with Star Wars theme, and it's becoming a regular thing that it's being mass produced and put into stores. So to be able to get a custom piece like this, which is a truly custom piece, at what I want to say was an extremely affordable price. SewQuiltable, what they charge for that piece, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go out right and say it was $225 for that piece, which is probably half of what some other places would charge for a custom quilt of that quality and that size. And I feel like that was a steal, and I still kind of feel bad that was the price they said. And I said, I'm not going to argue with you. I got to get this to the wife tonight. That was a very, very affordable price. If anybody knows anything about quilting, that was very affordable for a quilt of that quality. What can we do next as far as questions? Beth, what is on the horizons for you this year?
So I have one more that I'm waiting on, but my entire convention schedule is up. So I will be in Indiana. I will be in Michigan. I will be in Kansas City, Missouri. We are trying to come back really strong after 2020, where we did no conventions, and then we did one convention last year. So we are trying to get back in the game really quickly and just hit really hard. And my goal last year was to complete one drawing a week. So I have a whole bunch of them started. Don't have a whole bunch of them finished yet, but this year we'll bring out probably at the very least like 25 to 30 new pictures. They take anywhere from 8 hours to over 200 hours. So it just depends on the detail and stuff. But we are trying to up our game, up our presence on social media, up our convention presence. So it's going to be a fun year.
That's awesome. That's totally cool. Yeah, I definitely gotta, I'm looking at your comic convention list right now. It's like, yep, I'll see you at Indiana Comic-Con. That's for sure.
Awesome.
So,
awesome.
I'm excited about that. So very cool. Motor City. There you go. Motor City.
Oh, Beth, Motor City has been our convention since we got married, because Motor City lands on our wedding anniversary. So we always get a hotel out there, and we stay for the 3-ish days, and we make Motor City our anniversary weekend. So we're excited to bump into you there coming up here soon. That's going to be fantastic.
Be awesome.
And the Chip, I'd like to roll into if you have a question for her in a couple of minutes after she answers this one. I'm kind of curious, Beth, are you full-time at this, or are you part-time?
Yes. So I am incredibly lucky. Before I did this full time, I had 4 jobs at once, and I quit 3 of them so that I could do this. And I have an incredibly supportive husband. I mean, for example, we were supposed to have date night tonight, and he's working right now because he got called in. He's a firefighter, so he got called in. But like, he wants nothing more than this to succeed. So yes, I do this full time. It's a little quiet right now, so if people are looking for updates and stuff, I'm trying to revamp a lot of things that you can't necessarily see, but as soon as we start getting into the more physical stuff, you'll see a lot more feed from me. But yes, this is my full-time job.
That's awesome.
What size do you typically, I mean, I see these, I mean, you're talking these are wall size, but I mean, do you also do smaller sized, or is it, what size medium do you use?
Yeah, so all of the chalk pieces that I do have to be large because you cannot get that tiny detail with big pieces of sidewalk chalk. It just doesn't work that way. So the average size is 4 feet by 6 feet. The largest I have done recently was a 10-foot by 6 foot. Actually, that first video that you saw, the first time lapse, that one was 10 foot by 6 foot. But yeah, they're big. They are massive. They're hanging up in my basement. A lot of them are just like rolled up and waiting to be sold or sealed. But yeah, yes, they're big.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That was a beautiful, beautiful work. I mean,
thank you so much.
Yeah.
So speaking of being a full-time artist, for anybody watching live and watching on the replay, Beth has an Etsy store. I would implore you to go to her Etsy store and check this out now before things go viral. If you could potentially make somebody go viral. I mean, honestly, Beth, I feel like some of these things are criminally underpriced. This Ahsoka Katana print for $8 is a must buy, in my opinion. And I know when Brian McClay from Tales from the Flip Side sees this, he's going to flip. He's a huge Star Wars fan, and you can select different size. Oh, there's a metal version.
There's a metal version.
It's like, God damn it.
No. Well, I'm thinking this would be a fantastic way to display next to the. Oh my God, here we go. This is gonna be a thing. But please, yes, everybody check out Beth's Etsy store, where you can connect with her directly, purchase from the artist directly, that's the most important thing, right? When we talk about artists, full-time artists, and supporting them, buying directly from them on their own websites or Etsy is going to be the best option to support them. And she has a link tree as well with her website information where you can find the convention schedule, which is absolutely fantastic. For anybody watching on the replay or live here that's not within the tri-state area of Michigan or Indiana or Illinois, there's Lake Park, Mighty Con, Indiana Comic Con, April 15th to 17th. Oh my. Planet Comic Con.
I'm so glad I updated this today.
Oh, this is perfect. Motor City Comic Con. I'm in love with Motor City, like I said, Sarah and and we did a full recorded, edited 20-ish minute video on our YouTube channel. So anybody who wants a preview of what Motor City Comic Con has to offer, check that out, because this next year, 2022, is going to be huge there. Grand Rapids Comic Con is my hometown where I grew up. I will definitely rub shoulders with you there as well this year if we can get that weekend off and be up there. They do fantastic things. That is quite a very well-rounded convention schedule. So that's great.
Yeah, we have been honing that list since 2016. We were a huge part of the Heroes and Villains circuit, and then that went down, and we were kind of like, what do we do now? So we found all these, and we're really excited. It'll be our first year for Planet Comic Con down in Kansas City. It'll be our first Grand Rapids Con. I'm really excited about it. I've heard so many good things about it. But everything else is pretty much a repeat. So we're getting there. We're slowly like building our constant like annual visits. But yeah, I'm just really excited to get back into it. I had a post, I think it was like last year. This is how far behind I am. That was just, what do you miss about Comic Cons? And there's like, it's everything, just everything encompassing. So
yeah, I know Comic Cons have transcended what they used to be for me about hunting for comic books and finding comic books. That's a great portion, and that is a fun portion. More importantly, Comic Cons and comic conventions for me now have turned into getting back together with family, essentially. We have not the three of us directly have the longest history, but I've got history with some people here on YouTube and Instagram for several years. We speak daily, sometimes daily, more often weekly, and then we haven't been able to see each other and a lot of people for several years. So Baltimore Comic Con was one of the biggest conventions coming back, where a lot of us actually drove to meet up there for that one. And the con schedule is just going to get stronger and stronger. C2E2 was phenomenal recently. And Northwest Indiana Comic Con started the year off right this year. There's lots of smaller conventions, but Northwest Indiana Comic Con did it right, setting the tone, setting the pace. We're going to roll into Motor City, or actually Indiana Comic Con is next. in April, and then Motor City's right behind that. It's going to be a busy year. Sarah, my wife, and I, we're going to try to hit as many conventions as we can, in these local ones in Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan. These are just, most of them are just 2 to 3 to 4 hours away. Those are the ones that we're going to be making sure that we don't miss out on.
Nice. Very nice.
Chipman, you're not too far away. What's your con schedule looking like this year?
Man, I'm definitely going to try to look at that Indiana one. Grand Rapids is always on there. I'll be out of town for Motor City, but I am going out to Phoenix. So I'll be going to Phoenix Con out there when I'm out there in May, the end of May. So yeah, it should be good times. So, but yeah, that's one thing I love about the con season is, man, it's just meeting new people, as well as meeting people you've met online. So, you know, I'm recording, I'm walking around, and I'm showing YouTube, I'm live on channel, and I'm going around. All of a sudden, some guy comes up to me, taps me on the shoulder, and shows me his phone, and he's watching me walk around I'm like, what? Mind blown. You know, it's like, really? Wait a minute. Okay. You know, so it's kind of neat, you know, and then you have all your friends that you're meeting and people that you're just getting to know and learn more about, and meeting beautiful artists like this that just do beautiful work. It's amazing. You know, it's just amazing with all the work that they do. So envious of. I mean, it's like, God.
I'm sure there's a whole list of things you can do that I can't. So
I wouldn't go that far. Yeah. But it's really, that's what it's all about for me. Is just really, you know, spending time with the family, spending time with the friends, and getting them, you know, dig in the bins and meet artists and just hang out and chat and socialize, and you know, and yeah. So I'm excited for getting back into it, man. COVID's been a downer for a while, but we're getting there now. So
yep. I mean, if you can hold C2E2 and do it well and do it safely and have that many people gather and there not being an issue, then I don't foresee any other convention not being able to do it, as long as things are handled as appropriately as they need to be, is the best way to say it, I think. I'm really looking forward to it. It really is all about the relationships that you build and that you grow. And I'm excited for the future, because I'm seeing a shift.
Yeah.
And I saw it first here at Northwest Indiana Comic Con. I saw a lot of younger girls digging through bins.
Oh,
and my heart grew 3 or 4 more sizes. Like, the next generation's rolling in, and they're doing this, and they're doing it strong. And I'm like, I mean, I don't have quite the historied con experience as a lot of other people do, but for many, many years, it was a very similar pattern of people that were always going into conventions and buying and trading and collecting. And collecting has finally let go of this box that society used to keep it in, and everybody's enjoying it and everybody's celebrating, because collecting is more about just than collecting. It's celebrating the artists, it's celebrating the collectors, celebrating the organizers, celebrating friends, families, relationships. So 2022 has got nothing but fantastic things ahead of us, and the con schedule is going back to normal. It's going to be stronger than ever, and I'm excited to meet more absolutely amazing artists like Beth here, and continue to utilize this social media platform that we've been good at, or been getting good at, or English escapes me on Mondays big time.
You know,
but what we're getting better at, because we're kind of forced into this situation where this is how we could stay and connect and grow and network. Now we can utilize it as a tool, but not it be the tip of the spear, so to speak. We can get back to being humans. We can get back to being friends and socializing. And that's what I'm really excited for. And then being able to use this as a secondary tool.
Yeah.
So
well said.
I could ramble on another hour.
Emmy goes too.
Once again, we dropped the links in the chat for Beth's Etsy store, her Instagram, and her channel for Adventures of ChalkGirl. Do not hesitate to go check this out. Everybody watching on the Twitch side of things, we multi-stream to Twitch. We're close to multi-streaming on Instagram at the same time for the show. And everybody watching this on the replay, please hit that up, share out the information. If it's not your thing, at least carry that message forward. And speaking of carrying messages forward, once again, our mission for the year of 2022 is to support Mission 22. 22 veterans a day still to continue to take their life. It's a number that's not acceptable. So all channel monetization and all ad revenue for the channel is being donated for the year to Mission 22. And just last Friday, we auctioned off an Invincible 19 on Whatnot, and it went for it finished for $220. That $220 we're donating tonight to Mission 22 from that auction last Friday. That's fantastic. Love the idea that we've been able to do auctions for charity on large portions, but I like the idea of doing one item a week that keeps the charity on the weekly docket for conversation for all of the new people filtering in and out. So Mission 22 is the mission that we're choosing to support for the year of 22. That's a lot of twos and it's a lot of missions.
It is.
But I'm going to drop that link in the chat here for in just a second here. Chip, do you have any closing questions or a volley of information you'd like to share? Where can people find you? What do you have coming up on the tail end of this, man?
Gosh, for me, no closing questions per se, other than I can't wait to see you all at the next Comic-Con. For me, next will be for me making videos. I got some unboxings I got to do. I've got a bunch of, I got a whole, this is part of my comic haul the other day. So that's just part of it. And another part's way over there, taking up more room. So I'll be doing videos on what I've grabbed. I got a unboxing coming on with Taylor Winder at the end of February. That him and I will be doing an exchange of comic box exchange, and then every Saturday evening, it's open to everybody. Everybody's welcome to come on, banter. We just sit around and we just talk for hours. Start at 7 p.m. and 3 o'clock in the morning, we're still going, and it's insane. And by then I'm tired, but I'm like, let the guys in the West Coast take over the channel and I'll go to bed, and they keep going. I wasn't even on this week because of the Comic-Con, and they took over my channel, and they were having a banter going on while I was sitting doing the con stuff. So it's a lot of fun though. So that's basically what I got going on, man.
That's awesome, man. I'm looking forward to getting back into that kind of a norm of longer format hangouts for the people that are available for that and the people that are able to, like a lot of other people, looking forward to things coming back to normal. I'm looking forward to that, everything else coming back to normal, because that means my professional career, my work schedule will reduce back to normal. We're currently still feeling that essential workforce push with the workload being as high as it is. I'm looking forward to being back regularly. Moder Comic Mondaze is going to be the regular thing. Wednesdays, it will always be a fun new comic book day show that we do here, because us Wednesday warriors that love picking up the new reads, we love talking about them too. And I'm looking forward to being a part of other people's channels more for 2022. Things have been really busy. It's been difficult to line up schedules, but we did drop Chip's link in the chat there. Be sure to check out and support Chip on YouTube. Subscribe and follow his content there, and on IG as well. You'll be able to find that through there. And Mission 22 has been incredible. Cindy, Carly, Magnus, and the whole team are just amazing. So Corey, Pamela, and Bobby of the Til Valhalla Project, we're so honored that Andy brought us them. So the Til Valhalla Project is, you guys will get tired of me. You guys might get tired of me wearing this. I wear the exact same hoodie and shirt everywhere I go. Do not give in to the war within. Help end veteran suicide. I have 12 of the t-shirts and I think 2 or 3 of the hoodies. I wear them everywhere. I wear them every day out in public. It's a message that, as a veteran myself, I will continue to carry on forever until I can't carry that message anymore. That's something that I could definitely do. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on the ComicManAndy YouTube channel, because like we said, we're going to do regular content. We're going to be here as often as we can. But more importantly, support Beth, support Chip.
Yes.
Keep NWI Comic-Con on your schedule for next year, because that was a nice, cozy, warm building. I think the only critique I have to offer that convention to the owners would be that 3 or 4 more vendors in there, if they could have made room for them. 3 or 4 more vendors. I think there's more. Beth, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yep. That's why I was asking, how big a format do you need? Like, how much space do I got to make for you?
It's all good. I mean, typically I go for when I can, I go for like a 10 by 20 space, but that's really big compared to a lot of other people. But
yeah, but I mean, when you're at a convention and what you can, yeah.
Had I known about it, I would have applied. I didn't find out about it until the weekend before, because SewQuiltable and I had we had a hangout, we had to get together, and that was, I mean, I didn't look into it, or it didn't show up on my radar until then. So next year.
Yep, definitely. We got you. Yep.
Absolutely. Really looking forward to it. Beth, do you have any parting questions or comments? And besides what we've been able to share here, where can people find you? What do you have going on? I know we covered a lot of that, but do you have anything left for us?
No, you are a rock star when it comes to all of this. Like, just the quality of this video is like 10 times better than any live viewing I've ever done. So Thank you. You covered my Instagram and my website and my Etsy. Like those are the 3 things that I like to push really hard. Nothing super crazy. If you guys, whoever's listening and watching, if you want to say hi to me at a convention, if you'll be at one of those, please do. And please reference this video. And I'd love to meet up with you guys. Andy, if you're ever looking for raffle items for Project 22, please hit me up and we can certainly do. I love doing that. That's like,
Awesome.
It's one of my favorite things. So we can do that. And yeah, I'm just so thanks. What everyone in the chat or didn't see was the accumulation of this. Hey, do you want to be on the podcast like a half hour before we started, which was a great timing. Like it worked perfectly. So not calling you out, Andy, I promise.
No, I definitely will apologize up and down.
No, it worked.
My professional career and what I do kind of has turned into like an ER/fire station kind of situation where I have a schedule, but I don't always know I'm going to be available until an hour or 2 before that. So it kind of becomes I'm afraid to schedule with people and then have to cancel sometimes. But Beth, thank you so much for making time for us tonight. And you had her in tears with that Ahsoka Tano piece. It's so quiltable too with the quality of quilt, but she is the biggest Ahsoka Tano fan I know, and she is absolutely in stitches over that.
Look at that.
Not intended, but I like how that went.
No, you like as you pulled it out and the way that you were describing it before you introed me on, like I was getting teary of you describing the quilt. Like you gave it so much justice. So thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely phenomenal work by you and SewQuiltable, and I can't wait to watch that relationship continue to grow.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I think oh my God, it's been 56 minutes already. So that's Modern Comic Mondays. We're going to close this out. We're going to hang out with Chip and Beth for just a couple more minutes after this. So if you guys, please stay tuned for just a little bit here. And we're going to close this out. As far as announcements go, Whatnot again this Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to have a charity item for Mission 22 up. We're going to put together some really good books, and we're going to put together this group at a fantastic deal below what the secondary market's been going for. Everything starts at $1. Everything goes for 30 seconds, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Whatnot app. Looking forward to that. That also means that we are back for Sudden Death Saturdays on the Whatnot app. No extensions, 20 seconds. That's it. All great run filler, high quality books out of the 80s and 90s. We've got to make room for a lot of the new modern Star Wars stuff we're looking for, which means the CEO of the Comic Dojo says, Andy, you got to purge books. So that's what we're doing Saturday. And like we had said, please check out Mission 22. The link is in the chat. The links are all down below. The links for Beth, the links for Chip are all down below. Please support them. And everybody else, continue to help grow the community in the chats this way, that way, on Instagram, on YouTube, and on TikTok. More and more of the comic book community has gone to TikTok for short format fun videos to also provide that connection, that cross-content connection for the next generation of people that are finding TikTok as their preferred method for viewership. And the long format stuff will stay here on YouTube. We'll have a good time. But you know what? Thank you, everybody in the chat here hanging out tonight as we close this out. Come on, Mama April. Great to see you and Zuni again tonight. Battle 66, brother. Thanks for being here. Logic, good to see you. Thank you for being here and staying for the show. Battle again. Absolutely. We never get tired of their t-shirts. That's the Til Valhalla Project. And like we said, there is Chip's links and the Mission 22 links. Beth does great work. Just picked up 2 prints. That is phenomenal. Please go to Etsy and check out those prints. You will not be disappointed. Trust me right there. But you guys know how I'm going to do it, right? This connective tissue that is comic books, that is fantastic, right? But the most fantastic thing all day, every day, are each and every one of you out in the communities, hanging out in the shows, talking about comics, telling me what I forgot or what I need to check up on, and hopefully learning some things here, right? We're working to be educational and entertainable at the same time, entertaining at the same time. English on Monday's terrible. But you guys know it, right? That connective tissue is fantastic, but the most fantastic thing are all of you. But the most important part, all day, every day, stay original and take care of each other. I'm going to go peace out. I'm going to go piggies out. I'm going to catch you all on the flip side for the next one. Don't forget to check out Comic News Weekly on Supplements Comic Channel, where we live produce that show tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Looking forward to hanging out with those guys. We will see you guys on the next one. Have a great night, everybody.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.
Excuse me while I change. The roller boogie has made me sweaty. Yeah, sweaty. I love gold.
Switch to targeting computer.
I love gold.
Stay on target.
I love gold.
Stay on target.
I love gold.